Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thrifty Kaniffy. Well, I'm fresh back from Rosecraft Blades' booth over at Texas Blade Show, and we've got a nice review for you guys today. This is the Hatchie River Jack. I want to say I had a fantastic time at the Blade Show. We had Mikey and Matt visit me, and we spent a couple weeks together looking for knives. Went to the Blade Show, Texas Blade Show, spent some time with Andy up there and the crew. So I want to give a big shout out to Andy Armstrong over at Rosecraft Blades. We walked around a bit with him and looked at some different things and had a nice conversation with Andy. So thanks again, Andy, for taking the time out to talk with us and spend some time with us during the show. I know you were quite busy with selling knives. I think they did really well at the show. And just before the show, they introduced this wonderful piece. This is a Lanny's clip pattern, and they're calling this the Hatchie River Jack. They've done two of these and released them simultaneously. We've got the light green micarta and the light brown micarta. And I gotta say, this is a fantastic knife. You can hear the action on this son of a gun. Fantastic knife. Fantastic. Can I say fantastic enough? I don't know. But it's just a great pattern. Been waiting for this to be made. You know, it's just the Tony Bowes run from Case. We really haven't had a major knife company produce one of these. So it was much needed. Of course, a lot of the custom makers make them, but I was at the show, I saw a couple of these Lanny's clips by custom makers, and, you know, I didn't seek out the most expensive one, but the one I did look at was like $1,200. So obviously you can spend a heck of a lot more than $62 in order to get one of these. But I think $62 is probably going to be in the price range for a lot of you guys watching this video. So why do I like this Lanny's clip? Well, again, it's not being made by anyone else right now. The Tony Bowes ones are, shoot up on eBay. They're quite expensive, and they're not being made in any kind of meaningful way by Case right now. So it's nice to have one in production. Now, I know these are still available. These were released about 3 weeks ago, I want to say. And they're still available. You can get them at Blade HQ, a new partner with Rosecraft. So congratulations to them for landing another dealer. And I think that's going to be a great partnership. And then they're at Knife Center. They're at all the places that you would expect to find Rosecraft Blades knives, with the exception of probably Rosecraft Blades, because he's now, I think, maybe getting away from selling them on site. So you may in the future just have them primarily, not always, but primarily at the dealers. But the action on this fantastic knife, it does it for me. Light green micarta on this particular one. We have threading on the stainless bolster, stainless steel shield. We've got nickel silver pins, all crafted in a way as which keeps the hafting and the smoothness of the handle there. No rough spots around the shield or the pins. And the transition to the bolster is fantastic. You can see the back springs meet the liners. Back spring meets the liners. Well-centered construction is pretty much just everything you would want. And then you've got a fantastic action. I'd say that's right in that 6.5 range. Fantastic return. Now, the fun thing about these is they have quite a bit different audio between the two of them. When I mean audio is when I do the action on the blade. They sound quite a bit different. You heard that one. Listen to the snap on that. A little different, isn't it? So kind of nice to have, yeah, both of them very snappy. I'd say they're both similar in pull strength. Say this is 6.5. Here's a good look at the brown micarta. Now, I would have a hard time choosing between these two, but I think this is probably just edge out the green one just slightly, because I don't think I have as many brown ones as I do green knives like that. But this one is going to go to Mikey after the review. So congrats to Mikey. I'll be shipping this off to you at some point. And there you can see the layering in the micarta there, where you have the transition in colors. But it's done really, really well. There's a good look at the blade, clip point blade, done really well. Saber style grind. You know, you get this flat part at the top, it goes into the rest of the grind there. Here's a look at the edge. Now the edges are hand done, not fed into a machine. And of course the construction, you've seen the videos if you've been paying attention, where they craft and pin the knife. So there are quite a number of hand processes involved in making these. Yes, they were cut on CNC machine, but they have to be assembled by hand. So there you have it. You got the Rosecraft tang stamp on this side, and then Andy Armstrong's maker's mark on the back side. Again, RCT 033. This is the LBM for light brown micarta. And then you get the blade steel there, 14C28N. That's the transition blade steel that they've made from the Baron fork going forward. And then I think more or less Andy has said that they're going to use the steel that they have until they have no more of it. So there is, I suppose, a potential for change in the future, but not anytime soon, I would imagine. He's pretty happy with the way that this performs. And I've been pretty happy as well. I've been using the Baron fork a little bit and been happy with the way it works. It sharpens up really nicely, and you don't really see a tremendous amount of difference in blade wear over the D2. With heavier use, maybe you would see a decline in it a little quicker than maybe I am, but of course, what I do, I don't really super hard use my knives. It's just not in the cards for me. But this particular knife is a hard user, and I would say that the positives of this knife are the blade length to handle ratio. It's as compact as a Lanny's clip will probably get. You get that 4-inch handle, right? So plenty to grab hold of. And it's a very stout knife. If you look at the liners, well, let's open up the blade here and make it a little easier. You see the thickness of that. You're not pinching that together or anything. That's going to hold up and can be used as a pretty heavy use knife. So this is a user, and I think that's probably why Andy's gone with micarta as the choice for the handle material, and then giving you a couple of color options with it. So this is meant to be a heavy user, and it fills the part, feels very stout in the hand, comfortable. Now, typically speaking, I have to roll the edges on some of these knives. I've not really had to do that as much with this one, so kudos to them for maybe chamfering it a little more than they've been doing in the past. Doesn't feel nearly as sharp as some of the other knives that I have, so that's good. And you have a wonderful action, and of course that means a lot to me. That action on the blade is kind of the way the knife introduces itself to me. All right, I want to see that it has action that I'm comfortable with. It's not going to fold over on me when I'm using it, and with this particular knife, you're going to heavy use it. So there is that potential to fold the blade over on yourself, but with that action, you don't really need to concern yourself. Like how the choil meets up to the bolster. It's a good fit. It's not too small. You can get your finger in there if you wanted to and prevent the blade from closing even further. Of course, that rosebud shield, I think that's pretty class. Rose bomb shield, I suppose. They do have a different variation of the rosebud shield that's wider and shorter. This is the rose bomb shield. But just a heavy use knife. And I think it's going to be a terrific user for a lot of people at an affordable price, and provides that Lanny's clip pattern that a lot of people have wanted. That's right at 3 inches total length, and then you got a cutting edge 2 3/4 inches, pretty much because of the tang length, and a wonderful grind on there. Like the termination on that. That's just really well done. Satin blade. Again, 14C 28N. There's a look at the blade in the rested position. Pretty well centered, I'd say. This is nice and straight. No gaps on this one either. Very smooth in the closed position. Let's look at it in the half stop. Again, smooth in that position, and then in an open position, smooth again. So all the things you'd expect from a Rosecraft, and it hits all those key points. Again, $61.99. You can go to your local Rosecraft dealer and find one of these. I enjoy ordering from Red Hill Cutlery, but you do as you wish. They are at many different dealers across the internet, both in and outside the US. These are at Heine Haynes in the UK. And there is a website in Australia that sells these as well. So they are in other places other than the US. But these were still available as of the filming of the video on April 2nd, 2026. So I think you should be able to find them. Fantastic knife. And I wish you the best in success at locating one, and I think you will really, really appreciate the durability of the knife and what it can do for you as an EDC heavy use piece. So for the review, please hit that like button, and if you enjoy the video, subscribe. I'm going to be doing a slideshow, so stick around for that, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.